Harriet Tubman, often hailed as the Moses of her people, was an extraordinary woman whose indomitable spirit and unwavering courage reshaped the course of American history. Born into slavery, Tubman's journey from bondage to freedom epitomizes the resilience of the human spirit and the relentless pursuit of justice. However, beyond her famed exploits as a conductor on the Underground Railroad, Tubman's untold story unveils layers of complexity, sacrifice, and triumph that have often been overshadowed by her iconic status. How much do we truly know about the woman behind the legends? Join us as we explore the uncharted depths of Tubman's remarkable life, revealing a narrative of triumph against all odds. Number 1. Early years. Harriet Tubman's journey towards becoming an icon of freedom began in Dorchester County, Maryland, around the year 1822. Born into the harsh realities of slavery, she entered the world as Araminta Ross, known affectionately as Minty by her family. Her parents, Harriet Rick Green and Ben Ross, themselves slaves, instilled in their daughter a sense of resilience and strength that would shape her future endeavors. Life for young Minty was fraught with hardship from the outset. She experienced the brutality of slavery firsthand, witnessing the dehumanizing treatment inflicted upon her fellow enslaved people. Separated from her family at a tender age, she endured the anguish of familial separation, a common occurrence in the brutal institution of slavery. These early experiences left an indelible mark on Minty's psyche, fueling her determination to seek freedom at any cost. As she grew older, Minty's defiance against her oppressors became increasingly evident. Despite the ever-present threat of punishment, she refused to acquiesce to the injustices of slavery, harboring a fierce desire for freedom that burned brightly within her heart. Her indomitable spirit and unwavering resolve set her apart from her peers, marking her as a force to be reckoned with in the struggle against oppression. In 1844, tragedy struck Minty's life with a violent incident that would leave a lasting impact on her physical and emotional well-being. While attempting to intervene in a dispute between an overseer and another enslaved person, Minty suffered a severe head injury at the hands of the overseer. The blow was so severe that it caused lifelong health issues, including debilitating headaches and seizures. Despite the physical toll exacted upon her, Minty's spirit remained unbroken, serving as a testament to her resilience in the face of adversity. The following years saw Minty grappling with the harsh realities of slavery, as she toiled under the watchful eye of her masters. However, amidst the despair of bondage, a flicker of hope emerged as Minty began to entertain thoughts of escape. Encouraged by stories of freedom and liberation shared by her fellow enslaved people, she resolved to embark on a perilous journey towards emancipation. In 1849, at the age of 27, Minty made the daring decision to flee northward in search of freedom. Armed with nothing but her courage and determination, she embarked on a treacherous journey that would forever alter the course of her life. Leaving behind the familiar comforts of her homeland, she set out under the cover of darkness, guided by the North Star and her unwavering faith in her own abilities. For weeks, Minty navigated the perilous terrain of the Underground Railroad, relying on the kindness of strangers and the guidance of sympathetic abolitionists to evade capture. Along the way, she faced countless obstacles and dangers, including the constant threat of discovery by slave catchers and law enforcement officials. Despite the inherent risks, Minty pressed onward, fueled by the promise of freedom that beckoned her ever closer with each passing mile. Finally, after weeks of arduous travel, Minty arrived at her destination, the free state of Pennsylvania. Overwhelmed with emotion, she fell to her knees, overcome with gratitude and relief at the realization of her newfound liberty. However, her journey was far from over, as she soon discovered that the fight for freedom extended far beyond the borders of any one state. In the years to come, Minty would shed her former identity and emerge reborn as Harriet Tubman, a name synonymous with courage, resilience, and unwavering determination. Her escape from slavery marked the beginning of a new chapter in her life, one defined by her relentless pursuit of justice and equality for all. Harriet Tubman had embarked on a journey that would forever change the course of American history, leaving an indelible mark on the struggle for freedom and human dignity. Number 2. A Fight for Freedom. In 1849, Harriet Tubman, having endured the harsh realities of slavery, finally made her way to Pennsylvania, a state where she could live free. But freedom wasn't just about leaving the physical confines of slavery behind. It was also about fighting for the freedom of others who were still bound. Settling in Philadelphia, Tubman found herself amidst a community of people who opposed slavery. Here, she became involved in the abolitionist movement, a group of people working to end slavery. It was a stark contrast to the life she had known in bondage, but it was a challenge she embraced. In 1850, the U.S. government passed a law called the Fugitive Slave Act. This law made it even harder for enslaved people who had escaped to free states to remain free. It meant that even in places where slavery was illegal, like Pennsylvania, escaped slaves could be captured and sent back to their masters. This law angered Tubman, but it also made her more determined to fight against slavery. Despite the risks, Tubman continued to help other enslaved people escape. She became a key figure in the Underground Railroad, a secret network of people who helped slaves escape to freedom in the North. Tubman guided many slaves through dangerous routes, leading them to safety in free states like Pennsylvania and New York. Her bravery and determination saved countless lives. In 1857, Tubman faced one of her greatest challenges yet. She learned that her niece and her children were going to be sold as slaves. Tubman couldn't bear the thought of her family suffering the same fate she had endured. Without hesitation, she gathered a small group of trusted friends and set out on a dangerous mission to rescue them. Traveling back into the heart of slave territory, Tubman and her companions risked their lives to save her niece and her children. They navigated through forests and swamps, evading capture at every turn. It was a perilous journey, but Tubman was determined to succeed. After days of traveling, they finally reached the plantation where Tubman's niece and her children were held captive. Under the cover of night, they sprang into action, freeing the family and leading them to safety. It was a moment of triumph for Tubman, but her work was far from over. Despite the dangers she faced, Tubman continued to help enslaved people escape to freedom. She became known as the Moses of her people, a fearless leader who led others out of bondage. Her courage inspired others to join the fight against slavery, and her actions helped to bring about change. Number 3. The Underground Railroad and beyond. As Harriet Tubman's reputation as a conductor of the Underground Railroad continued to grow, so too did her dedication to the cause of freedom. The years following her arrival in Pennsylvania saw Tubman embarking on numerous rescue missions, guiding enslaved individuals to freedom with unparalleled courage and determination. In 1859, Tubman's commitment to the Underground Railroad was put to the test when she learned of a plan to rescue a group of enslaved people from a plantation in Maryland. With the help of trusted allies, Tubman orchestrated a daring raid, leading the group to safety under the cover of darkness. The successful rescue mission was a testament to Tubman's ingenuity and resourcefulness, as well as her unwavering dedication to the fight against slavery. Throughout the 1850s and into the early 1860s, Tubman's efforts on the Underground Railroad continued unabated. She traveled extensively throughout the eastern United States, guiding enslaved individuals to freedom in free states and Canada. Despite the constant threat of capture and the dangers of life on the run, Tubman remained undeterred, driven by a deep-seated belief in the inherent dignity and worth of every human being. Number 4. Armed resistance. Harriet Tubman's journey as a freedom fighter extended beyond her efforts on the Underground Railroad. When the Civil War erupted in 1861, Tubman saw an opportunity to fight against slavery with the Union Army, and her role in armed resistance became a defining chapter in her life. In 1862, Tubman traveled to Port Royal, South Carolina, where she volunteered as a nurse for the Union Army. Despite lacking formal medical training, Tubman's compassion and natural caregiving abilities made her invaluable in tending to wounded soldiers. Her tireless dedication earned her the respect and admiration of both soldiers and commanders. But Tubman's contributions didn't stop at nursing. Union commanders recognized her intelligence and bravery and enlisted her as a scout and spy. Tubman's knowledge of the South and her ability to move undetected in Confederate territory made her an ideal candidate for gathering important intelligence for the Union Army. Tubman's role as a scout and spy was vital to the Union Army's efforts. She traveled deep into enemy territory, risking her life to gather information about Confederate troop movements and plans. Her intelligence reports helped Union commanders make strategic decisions and gain the upper hand in battle. In addition to her reconnaissance work, Tubman also led daring missions behind enemy lines to liberate enslaved people. In 1863, she orchestrated a raid along the Combahee River in South Carolina, leading Union gunboats through Confederate defenses and freeing over 700 enslaved individuals. The success of this mission dealt a significant blow to the Confederate war effort and bolstered the Union's morale. Tubman's bravery and leadership on the battlefield earned her the respect and admiration of soldiers and commanders alike. Despite facing danger and adversity, she remained undaunted in her commitment to the cause of freedom. Her actions inspired those around her and contributed to the eventual victory of the Union Army. Throughout the remainder of the war, Tubman continued to serve as a scout, spy, and nurse for the Union Army. She participated in key battles and played a vital role in securing important victories. Her courage and determination made a lasting impact on the fight against slavery and helped to shape the course of American history. After the Civil War ended in 1865 and slavery was abolished, Tubman continued her advocacy work. She dedicated herself to helping formerly enslaved individuals transition to freedom, providing them with housing, education, and support. Tubman's tireless efforts to uplift and empower her community were a testament to her commitment to justice and equality. In her later years, Tubman's contributions to the abolitionist cause were recognized and celebrated. She became a symbol of courage and resilience, inspiring future generations to stand up for what is right. Harriet Tubman's legacy as a fearless freedom fighter endures to this day, serving as a reminder of the power of one individual to make a difference in the fight against injustice. Number 5. Legacy and impact. In the years following the Civil War, Harriet Tubman's tireless efforts continued to have a lasting impact on the fight for equality and justice, echoing through the ages. Despite the end of slavery, Tubman understood that the struggle for true freedom was far from over, and she remained committed to the cause until the end of her days. In 1868, Tubman married Civil War veteran Nelson Davis. Together, they settled in Auburn, New York, where Tubman continued her advocacy work. She devoted herself to helping formerly enslaved individuals transition to freedom, providing them with housing, education, and support. as they sought to build new lives for themselves and their families. Throughout the 1870s and 1880s, Tubman's home in Auburn served as a haven for those seeking refuge from the injustices of racism and discrimination. Tubman herself faced numerous challenges and setbacks during this time, including financial hardships and health problems, but she remained undeterred in her commitment to the cause of freedom and equality. In 1896, Tubman purchased a piece of land in Auburn and established the Harriet Tubman Home for the Aged, a retirement home for elderly African Americans. The home provided a safe and supportive environment for its residents, many of whom had spent their lives in servitude and poverty. Tubman's dedication to caring for the most vulnerable members of society was a testament to her compassion and generosity. In addition to her work with the elderly, Tubman also became involved in the women's suffrage movement. Despite facing discrimination and opposition from some white suffragists, Tubman remained steadfast in her belief that women, regardless of race, deserve the right to vote. She spoke out against injustice and inequality, using her platform to advocate for the rights of women and people of color. In 1899, Harriet Tubman authored her memoirs, titled Scenes in the Life of Harriet Tubman. This seminal work provided readers with an intimate glimpse into Tubman's remarkable journey as a conductor on the Underground Railroad. Within its pages, Tubman vividly recounted the harrowing experiences of guiding enslaved individuals to freedom through perilous routes and treacherous landscapes. She shared heart-wrenching accounts of facing imminent danger and navigating intricate networks of safe houses and sympathetic allies, all while evading relentless pursuers. Scenes in the Life of Harriet Tubman served as more than just a historical record. It was a powerful testament to Tubman's courage, resilience, and unyielding determination in the face of adversity. Through her candid narrative, Tubman inspired readers to confront the injustices of the past while igniting a fervent call to action in the ongoing fight for equality and human rights. As Tubman entered her twilight years, her legacy as a fearless freedom fighter continued to grow. In 1913, she attended the dedication of the Harriet Tubman Home for the Aged, where she was honored for her lifetime of service to the community. Despite her advanced age and declining health, Tubman remained active in the fight for equality, serving as a source of inspiration and guidance for future generations of activists. Harriet Tubman passed away on March 10, 1913, at the age of 91. Her death marked the end of an era, but her legacy lived on in the hearts and minds of those she had touched throughout her extraordinary life. Tubman's unwavering commitment to the cause of freedom and equality had helped to shape the course of American history, leaving an indelible mark on the struggle for justice and human dignity. Her life was a testament to the power of courage, resilience, and determination in the face of adversity, and her memory continues to inspire generations of people around the world to stand up and fight for what is right. Conclusion. Harriet Tubman's legacy is one that surpasses time and continues to deeply inspire people around the world. Her untold story serves as a beacon of hope and inspiration, reminding us of the resilience of the human spirit and the power of perseverance in the face of adversity. Born in the brutal system of slavery, Tubman endured unimaginable hardships from a young age. Yet, instead of succumbing to despair, she found within herself a strength and courage that would drive her to defy the injustices of her time. Tubman's decision to escape from bondage marked the beginning of her extraordinary journey as a freedom fighter. Throughout her life, Tubman faced countless challenges and dangers as she worked tirelessly to lead enslaved individuals to freedom through the Underground Railroad. Her unwavering commitment to the cause of abolition knew no bounds, and she risked life and limb time and again to rescue others from the horrors of slavery. But Tubman's activism extended far beyond her efforts on the Underground Railroad. She became a prominent figure in the abolitionist movement, working alongside other dedicated activists to bring an end to slavery in the United States. Tubman's courage and determination inspired countless others to join the fight for freedom and equality. Despite facing unimaginable odds, Tubman never wavered in her belief that a better world was possible. Her relentless pursuit of justice and equality paved the way for future generations of activists to continue the struggle for social change. Today, Harriet Tubman's legacy lives on as a symbol of hope and resilience. Her story serves as a reminder of the enduring power of the human spirit to overcome even the most daunting challenges. As we honor her memory, let us also recommit ourselves to the ongoing work of building a more just and equitable society for all. Harriet Tubman's untold story will continue to inspire and empower generations to come, ensuring that her legacy remains alive for centuries to come.